Welcome to Corio Bay, where we have double points for our final day.
The racing has been so close so far this weekend. Pavement's taken the lead at times, really pushing Euroflex, which is cool to see. We've got frustrating news for Team ID. They've suffered equipment failure which can't be repaired in time. The tips snapped off their main foil, leaving them unable to compete in the 3 races today. So 5 teams on the water, Nick. Great conditions here. We're going to be in for some tight racing.
Double points, it's still anyone's day. Let's bring it on. Yesterday in Geelong's 4th race, a penalty to Euroflex allowed Pavement to steal the limelight. Before Record Point howled into contention.
Hey! I was in the zone there!
With weighty expectations, the championship leader heaved her heft around the track.
Hey, protest!
Olivia Price teabagging her crew. While Record Points planted the entire kettle.
Yeah, you all good, Sam? Nice. Would love a line on here.
Pavement undercutting Euroflex to snatch the lead on the final leg, going bow to bow until a foiling error left the series leader with the spoils.
All right, we had to work for that one, boys. Yeah. Well done. Well done, Goobs.
Clean Made and ID making the most from the jump in Geelong's next. While Steve Thomas's crew on Pavement were last at the start before climbing into the lead with high hopes of dethroning Euroflex as Ed Powies abdicated from ID. Tech 2 rocketing into the contest, holding their breath on a massive gust, firing into second.
Turning hard.
Clean Made had to cool their hopes of a challenge as Paul Campbell-James's day came to a bone-chilling end.
Alongside, we have no port tip on our board.
A tactical error costing Pavement, the 3 amigos on board the Big Blue, making it a clean sweep. And the Euroflex guys sailing high in Geelong, a clean sweep across our 5 races here so far in Victoria. Pavement chomping at their heels on 20 and 1 point behind its Record Point. And a reminder, our series leader is Euroflex. They claim 6 points in Adelaide. They'll be looking to do the same here in Geelong. It's all about the race for the Ben Lexon Trophy, which will be awarded to the team with the highest point score after our 5 regattas test. The gap to Euroflex is closing though.
Look, they're all good sailors out there, and I think they've all got the ability to put the pressure on Euroflex. You know, today with the gusty conditions, shifty on the bay, up and down, we know Steve Thomas, the skipper of Pavement, you know, he was leading the 2 races we saw yesterday. So, look, I'm happy to watch some pretty cool racing as we go into double points.
Double points on offer and a doubly beautiful backdrop for it today here in Geelong. But Tech 2, it looks like they've come to some trouble early on in their warm-up, Recce, and oh, that's terrible luck for them. Jack, this weather is going to be causing chaos out there today.
Yeah, so the breeze has settled in at a steady 13 to 15 knots. We've got the boats lining up for the start here. There should be plenty of action in this race, and you're right, the Tech 2 did put it in the water, but they are pretty fired up for a good result.
Lucky to get the boat up in time to be able to do race 6.
2 minutes.
Crews are getting set here.
Warm yourself up, Glennie. Is that the haka?
The war cry's done, the racing is next. Not long for the hammer to drop now, and Record Point and Pavement keeping tabs on each other, Tess.
Record Point can see something out on the left. They're accelerating down the line.
40 seconds.
Not long to go now.
Phil's going, but he just left us all.
Everything, straight down, straight down.
And the move of Record Point catching Euroflex off guard. Will it be a good one?
Trying to veer away to jibe. Go, wait in, go, jibing.
Record Point, a high-risk manoeuvre, a jibe and a port start. Only 24 seconds to go.
It's high risk, high reward stuff from Phil Robertson. It's a gamble.
High slow. 50, 40, 30. All good, wait up. Ease, wait up.
Plenty of different accents on there.
Go.
Neil Hunter with the Scottish countdown. Phil Robertson with the Kiwi swing.
Yeah.
Clean made late to the party test. They're coming from nowhere. My goodness, Neil Hunter almost had a back issue there. That was close with Tech 2 and Record Point.
Great battle off on starboard tack. Euroflex leeward boat here, putting the bow down, sending it. They've got great breeze off the start. Tech 2 on the inside lane here. We'll see if that pressure goes right and lets them lift up.
And guest commentator Jimmy Wasbowski, what are you making of this thrilling start?
Yeah, really tight here as the three boats head out to the left. Euroflex in a good position. Phil's done a great job of executing that port-handed start. He tried that a few times in Adelaide. That one was right on point, and he's going for that Geelong Main Street puff that's been hanging out on the right-hand side.
Aidan Menzies working hard on the main sheet.
Obviously not crossing.
Nathan Outridge on board Euroflex saying we've almost got enough boat speed here to cross in front of Pavement and Tech 2.
And they're out front runner Euroflex. They've got about 15 metres on Pavement. Tech 2's in third and Record Point going for the Main Street puff, huffing and puffing about 80 metres behind. As Clean made the last one to the party, is chasing everyone at this stage.
Got us across.
Bye.
And Glenn having a little trip up there.
Record Point tacking over. The only boat out on the right. We'll see how that converges with the rest of the fleet.
Oh. Yep. Rakes in.
It sounds quieter over there. It doesn't sound as breezy.
Big trim, big trim, big trim.
There's something coming though. They're trimming on big time.
And a great idea of how it's panning out this battle so far, how big a decision that was.
Now we're looking with Record Point.
And Euroflex want to know.
They've just caved.
And it seems like they're not so impressed with the move of Phil Robertson. And that's perhaps why, Tess, it looks like that margin is blowing out a little.
You never know till the last minute here. That right puff comes in really close to the top mark.
Oh, it's wet and wild out there, hard conditions.
So here what Nathan Outridge, who's in picture at the moment on the Euroflex, he's just trying to connect the dots. So he sees one gust, a lull and another gust, and then he's going to try and weave the boat as quick as he can through that. And so he's sort of playing the flute in that tiller extension, pushing all the buttons, making sure that the boat's got that air time, and you can see from our picture the dark patches on the water. He's just trying to link one to the next.
And a nice little skirmish here between Pavement and Tech 2 as well, neither boat giving any margin.
A lot of breeze coming into the top mark. The boat's lifting high out of the water. It's so difficult to get stability here with the breeze being so inconsistent. Flying around the mark there.
Gonna get out of here soon, you think? Just thinking Lay's probably at 30 away.
Wait in, Sam.
That it? Go.
And look how far they've come already. The foil time these boats are getting from Adelaide, it's just leaps and bounds.
Having boat control in these gusty conditions is so tricky. Whoa, missed a step there across the boat. Dan Morris.
I've seen his moves like that on the weekend. He's solid.
Not sure. Balls. We can get to clean, mate. It's good.
And already conceding defeat almost there.
Okay, go board here.
Record Point probably
Attacking, boys. Go.
at this stage admitting they've dropped the ball a little bit and left the door open. Clean made now.
What am I doing?
Clean mate have overlaid the top mark by a long way here. Huge bear away to get to that right mark. Bit of a mistake covering extra distance there, but they have gained the lead over Record Point.
Gust on in 3. Traveller first. 2. Soft. It's actually soft, guys.
Bit of confusion there from Reese, calling one thing, the other thing happened. It's hard stuff out there.
Big Sharpie. 8 seconds. Little shorter, sorry. 3.
In there, boys.
Yeah.
That.
Okay, eyes forward, whatever you can, mate. Nice.
Pavement here, they're getting absolutely carded. They're in about 15 knots. They're going to be going twice the speed of the wind. They'll be pushing 30 here. Absolutely on the edge. You see Dan Morris there just trying to hang on. And Nathan Outridge will be looking over his shoulder, seeing these boys coming at them, knowing that they're just eating up the metres into their lead.
Trav down a fraction, baby. Lifting. It's a jibe definitely in 15.
The main sheet's got a big role calling the pressure accurately so everyone knows what's coming so that they can prepare the main sheet trim and the skipper controlling the rudder lift through those buttons on the tiller. You can see those dark patches. Who's getting a good run on this downwind?
Yeah, give me everything. It's just a nasty low here.
Phil Robertson asking for everything and getting his crew very wet in the process as Tech 2 is humming along. It's that high-frequency rumble. It's the sound, it's the dead giveaway that these boats are absolutely scorching through the Geelong waterways. And Pavement and Tech 2 buzzing each other.
Close cross there. Pavement, so much power on the roundup, and look, there's a difference between the boats. Pavement now, whoa, not enough control in the jibe.
Oh, it's hair-raising stuff out there, Tess, no doubt about it.
Go boys, board.
They are soaking wet out there, and Euroflex is soaking up some front running at the moment too. This is beautiful to watch as we see their lead. Will they hold on to it, or will Tech 2 come and chew them up? We'll find out after this.
See what Tech 2's in over there?
That's our leader, Euroflex, wanting an eye on Tech 2.
Bring a little further, right? Yeah, I got to see him through here. Okay, stand by. 2, 1, driving.
And they should be nervous because it's really close and these boys are going at 22 plus knots at the moment.
Yeah, look, don't be fooled if you've been sailing before and you think of 15 knots as not being very much wind. I can absolutely assure you 15 knots of wind is top end for these guys. These guys are absolutely hanging on, and the consequences if they make a wrong move here can be absolutely catastrophic. Do not underestimate how much breeze these boats are sailing in right now.
A mistake with the foil technique. 4 foils allows you to sail lower. On board Euroflex, flying here, they're still in the lead.
Yep.
Bottom mark here. I think that was less painful. Should have stayed on 4 there, sorry. Here we go, let's go. And big main on. Yep.
And a tiny mistake is giving our leader a massive sniff here.
Prepare for the upwind here. It's left angle on the exit here.
I'm gonna go to that comms I was talking about. Be more specific what I'm saying.
Yeah.
As Pavement on anchor there and blowing up about the communication on board.
Nice, Glennie. Use those muscles, buddy. All lifting pressure coming. Just got to keep out of Phil's way a bit. Okay, slowly coming up here with you. You can have a go at it if you want it. I'll just steer to it for you if you want.
Glenn Ashby asking Nathan Outteridge if he wants to do some of the heavy lifting.
Who's the sketcher?
Not here.
The breeze is all here, we have to continue. There's nothing in there.
Confident that the new breeze line will come from the left. There's nothing out on the right. They're calling it as they pass through the middle gate.
Coming up. Tech
2 have made a nice run of that breeze line.
I think a little less ease, Aiden. Yep. Just once where.
Gooby's in charge of the course.
Ian Jensen, bow on Euroflex, calling the strategy. These boys have it beautifully in tune.
The 2 guys on the front working so hard, Goobs and Glenn Ashby there. You can see Glenn really having to lean up, use his legs to sheet that main sheet on. It's an incredible amount of load. We would not normally see sails of this side just used by normal ropes. Often we use other mechanisms to sheet them in, but here it's all manpower. If you can't pull it in, it's not coming in.
Stability of the angle of heel is critical. They're trying to get the middle hull out of the water and flying for maximum amount of time. A lot of work on board with the Traveller and the main sheet. They're passing through the middle gate now. They're on the 3rd leg of the course on the upwind for the 2nd time.
And this is a great effort from the boys on Tech 2. Sam Newton on the bow. He was badly injured in a touchdown in Adelaide and he's back. A little ginger, but looking superb, Jimmy.
Yeah, no, saw him limping around the boat park a little bit, Ginger, but yeah, as you said, big corky, but he's just pushing on. He's for sure one of the best forward hands in the fleet here. He's a really big guy, really strong, but he's got that finesse that those big guys don't usually have, which is why he's so key to this team.
And very calm on board as well. Neutralises out the intensity of Aiden and Luke. Oh, a bit of a touchdown. The gusty conditions are so hard for these guys to work the boats.
Slow tack, just nice and slow.
They sailed into a knock there. The jib's back, almost an auto tack. Here we go, clean made here.
Oh, and that's a wet one, and Josh McKnight holding on for dear life, but someone...
You're alive?
You right, fella?
It's Harry. Harry Morton's fallen off there, and he's freestyling furiously to get back on board, and it's a futile task there for the big fella. Not here to lick stamps, he's licking the bottom of Corio Bay.
Come to the front.
Doing the tack.
Deck 2 enjoying the breeze at the moment. I wonder if they've got any idea of the chaos unfolding behind them at the moment. For now, they're just enjoying their second position, closing in on Euroflex.
You're right. Do you want to stop? Do you want to stop?
And he's looking a little off balance there, Harry Morton, and perhaps it's got something to do with the one shoe he's wearing, throwing him off balance. I've heard of Michael Jackson with one glove, one shoe. Not sure if it's going to catch on.
Euroflex on the lay for the right top mark.
Standing by.
Getting ready for the bear away here. There's a lot going on. Bowman comes in.
2, 1, a little bit on us here now.
Great acceleration in the bear away. They're on the final downwind in this race to the bottom mark.
Just settle it down and we'll go. Yep.
So calm. They've got a lot of time here. They've got a great lead.
Nice scoops. Okay, turning.
Beautiful work from Ian Jensen there. His DEXA body scan data says he's only got 14.5% body fat. And the rest of him is sheer muscle, powering that boat beautifully.
Euroflex is calling the winds in the right, and you can see pavement lifting here on a nice lane.
2, 1, lull now, then gust inside.
Seems a little more calm than it was earlier on board pavement.
Pavement still heading up to the top mark.
I agree. Yeah. Agree.
Very cordial on board record point. Everyone on the same page there, but it's not pretty viewing.
Close to lake.
The breeze is back in for the downwind. These guys are sending it. They'd be sailing 25 knots here, plus you can see the foils pierce out the top of the water here.
That's some exquisite camera work getting it inside.
Think any time here, Goobs?
Into just what it's like on board the Superfoiler.
Okay. Yep. Let's go here.
Ian Jensen working hard, pulling the foil down into the water with nice ease. As the boat just glides through the turn, the skipper's got to be really aware of where their crew are.
My buttons.
Look, these boats are absolutely setting the new limit of sailing. What they've done here is they've gotten the fastest Formula 1 car. They've made it go twice as fast instead of, here you go, guys, hop in, off you go, get that round the track. And I can guarantee you all these sailors have never felt the feeling that they have now. Doing over 30 knots downwind on trapeze has never been done before. So these guys are just flying by the seat of their pants. They're not exactly sure what might happen here, but they're hanging on and they're giving it their best.
They need to hang on, Tess. They are rocketing at the moment, Tech 2, and really starting to close in.
Board up, please.
Keep the mainsail twisted for speed, Aiden's saying.
Pretty steady though.
You can see Goobs on the bow there pressing the buttons to get the right amount of lift in the mainfoil.
Yep. I'm pretty happy.
And it looks like a pterodactyl about to take flight there. That is seriously fast stuff from the Euroflex boys.
You've got to get the right amount of lift in the foil so that it sucks down into the water before the jibe here. The bowman and the main running across to the new side first.
Big ease here.
Slight stall out. They've got to ease to get that flow reattached on the main.
Lean out, Sam, so I can see.
Yeah, super tough to communicate, and there's so many things you're trying to talk about. So you can see there Sam just jumping in, and they're trying to get this low mode, get through the middle gate.
Can we make it?
Here we go.
Rounding the bottom mark for the final time at 50 kilometres an hour plus, enough to get you slapped on the wrists in a school zone.
Above. Stand by, forward.
Challenge is down, the finish is coming up.
Up. Stand by, forward. 3, 2, 1, go forward. 2, 1, driving.
Euroflex on starboard, Tech 2 on port. Euroflex have got right of way.
Solid, Marco, solid.
4 boards down to stay low, to keep out of Euroflex's way.
Keep it on 4.
We're on 4.
Gone below.
Avoiding here.
Keep the board down for a bit.
Yep. Pressure on?
Yeah.
No, we're just tack.
Euroflex are heading upwind towards the finish. They're looking at the tack for the ley line.
It's a big lifting.
Yeah, you can see Glenn Ashby just doing some housework there. He's got all his lines hanging over the boat. He's got to try and get all that organised. There's nothing worse than when you're coming up to manoeuvre and you're just tangled in ropes. You can't move through the boat. You've got to keep that all nice and tidy.
Perhaps that's why Ian Jensen's going for the kindergarten crouch here on the end. Keeping it classy on board Euroflex.
Okay, slow build here.
And getting some applaud there from the spectator craft as well.
Up at the top of the course here, record point, clean made on the upwind. They're still going up to the top marks. On board here, clean made. Such variable pressure here. Not enough power there, not enough lift. The guys have just fallen in the water. Such a delicate balance between controlling the lift on the foils and the main sheet and the traveller.
It's a righty right now, isn't it?
And this is our series leader maintaining her unbeaten run here.
Yeah. Well sailed though.
And just giving a little tilt of the nose, a bit of showboating on the finish as well. Beautiful stuff.
Well done, Goops. That was full on downwinds, eh?
And it's the love boat there for Euroflex. Goob's getting a shout out, Glenn in the cold.
3, 2, 1, gust on now.
A lot of talk on board about the pressure differences.
Get settled. Keep on. Yeah. Pulling it on, box open. Decreasing pressure.
Yeah, Gooby's just lying down there. They'll be getting the gels and the energy bars on the boat, ready for the next one. Tech 2 on their way back upwind, record points still heading down to the bottom mark. So awesome performance here by Tech 2, you know, bouncing back straight from a capsize in second place here.
Header and pressure.
Luke calling, the wind's headed, so it's knocked. The breeze has gone left. They need to look at attack here.
One in here, gentlemen.
Very civilised from Luke Parkinson, referring to his crew as gentlemen there.
Starboard, see there. Starboard. That's a bit rough. Yeah. Put a bit in the bank here. Yeah.
Really light, next 15 away. Let's get our heads out. Wind, I think that's
And this is Pavement, such a good performer yesterday. They pushed for the win. Now they're slipping behind a little bit. Dan Morris looking back in disbelief as the boys on Tech 2 rocket things along.
Big swing, Sambo.
Need some weight out on the wire.
Chill a little. We do not very good speed builds out of the tack, so got to have a look at the old Euroflex footage.
And actually admitting he's going to be spying on our race winners' strategy there.
Yeah, copy.
As well as their setup as Tech 2 close in on a second place finish.
Nice race, gents. Mate, we can go downwind quick.
Certainly worthy of a fist pump. It's their best result ever in the Superfoiler Grand Prix. Awesome work.
Last time Sam was swinging out doing that.
Yeah, all good.
We're doing fine considering where we are sailing. That's good.
We need a forward stopper.
Sam saying he needs to put a stopper on the top of the board to limit how far it goes down, but the boys are very happy with their downwind speed, absolutely sending it. Just got to work on their upwind.
Stand by, go board.
And Phil Robertson, this race is still on in earnest for the record point boys. And it was a great Friday expression session from the lads on record point. They just need to get back in that groove, find that zone, and pointed in the right direction. The results will come.
Yeah, trying to pop up here, lads.
And Pavement, they've rounded the bottom mark for the last time in this race. They're really dropping low on the wire here. They're in fourth, but still with a battle for third.
That chase looks futile as Pavement splash it down. We look on board. Jimmy, your old ride, record point, and third without you. How does that one sit?
Yeah, Phil's really getting it sorted now. We saw in Adelaide, obviously with me doing my knee and the rest of our crew sort of having some injuries, we sort of stitched him up a bit and he didn't have a consistent crew on the front of the boat. So now he's got the big Neil Hunter. He did one day with him in Adelaide and he's back on the boat on the front there. And then in the middle, the big inclusion, Sam Phillips. He's from Sorrento, local boy, and an amazing 49er main sheet trimmer. So he's really gelled the team together, Sam, in the middle there. And you know, it's going to be really interesting to see what he can pull together at this event. I wouldn't write him off at all. He can win races for sure.
And record point with the point to prove. They've just claimed third there, Jimmy. They'll be enjoying that moment, no doubt.
Spot on. Nice. Nice one, Jeff. Just nailed that, didn't Good. Good.
Neil Hunter particularly chuffed there, saying they nailed that. Why not? It was a great effort, and he's a big unit, Neil Hunter. Look at that. Whew.
Yeah, big, strong guy here. A lot of horsepower needed on board to sail these boats. And here we have Pavement in fourth, approaching the finish.
Coming on, yep.
Super close action for the VIPs on board.
And things have gone a little quiet on Pavement. There was a lot of chat earlier, then there was complaints about the lack of communication, and it's gone back to steely silence there now, Tess.
Yeah, look, they know they're in fourth. Fifth is a long way behind, so they've just got to keep calm and get the boat through the finish.
One gust on now.
None of these teams have had a lot of time in the boat, so they're still getting a feel for it, working out what works and how they can sail them fast.
Gust on again the inside now. And another one, 3, 2, inside now.
It's been a good showing from Pavement. They've had 2 seconds and now they'll chalk up a fourth. It's a solid outing for them here in Geelong on the waters of Corio Bay. Not quite as solid an outing today as what we've seen from Tech 2. A massive result for them. Jack McCartney's with their skipper.
Yeah, I'm here with Parko. Great effort, boys. You must be happy with that one.
Yeah, you know, we're getting better every race. And, you know, we just got to get that first work and off the start line in good shape and we'll be right up there.
That was one hell of a jibe around the VIP boat. Tell us what was going on there.
Well, it was basically all or nothing around there, so we just went for it. And, you know, the guys up front doing a fabulous job. We just stayed calm and cool like it wasn't even there, and we pulled it off, which is perfect.
Heard you talking about the speed build out of the tacks. What have you got to do to get that going?
Yeah, we are struggling a little bit on the speed build out of the tacks and a little bit upwind, so it's just something we know we have to work on. So we're going to keep learning and keep chipping away. I've probably got one of the fittest crews on the bow from the Cup, so bring on more races.
So you tipped it in just before that race. Probably not the best idea to do it again, but was that a little swim woke you boys up?
Yeah, we're just trying something different in the jibes, and we've worked it out a bit more now, so it's all learning. But the main thing, like, big credit to the guys who built and designed these boats. We can capsize, get it up, and we just raced. So there's not too many other boats with electronics you can do that.
Great stuff, Parko. Good luck for the rest of the races.
Thank you.
And capsizing's part of the racing out here on board Clean Made. We've got 2 crew trapping. They're 4-point foiling on the last downwind before the finish.
We want to get up. One of the ways is get rid of the board. Probably this.
Yeah, we're going to need to.
I'll go in.
Oh, it's going light, right?
Nah, it's more past.
Okay, get it up.
Excellent reptilian-like grip there from Harry with the one shoe. We've heard from our second place getter today. It makes sense we hear from our third place. That's record point, and Jack McCartney's got the man there.
Yeah, here with Phil. That was a great battle between you and Pavement. You got the better of him.
Yeah, we did. We found our mode, sort of got a bit stitched up by sailing on port off the line. We thought it was a winning move, but it turned out to be a dud, and that's yacht racing. But yeah, we clawed our way back into it, had a nice mode upwind, and yeah, managed to sail a really nice sort of last downwind with a couple of nice jibes in there too. So it was good to rip past them and get one back.
There's a few solid puffs out there. You must have been hitting some good speeds.
Yeah, we hit a solid puff earlier and it tipped us over, but yeah, no, like it's a trade-off between the lulls and the puffs, and whether we can be one board foiling, or it's better just to 2 board, go a little slower but be foiling the whole way downwind. So yeah, it's hard to know, and that's what we're trying to figure out. When's good to pop one up and get ripping, or keep it slow and steady.
Tell us what happened in the capsize. Why did you go over?
Oh look, we had a massive puff off the shore, and it was probably a 30-degree shift, and big breeze as well, and we just stuffed the leeward bow in, and as soon as that goes in, it's slow and painful, and it's definitely not the most spectacular capsize. It's, yeah, a little bit embarrassing, to be honest.
And who's the culprit?
Oh, mate, the skiff sailor owns that one, eh? You thought he would know better, but yeah, Sam Phillips, that's him, that's his trademark right there. He owns it.
Nice work, lads. Good luck the next couple of races.
Phil Robertson throwing Sam Phillips under the bus for a capsize in one of our earlier races as we see how race 6 unfolded. Euroflex on top by a healthy margin ahead of Tech 2, their best result yet, and Record Point rounding out the podium in 3rd. Tess, some wonderful racing, plenty of bumps and close calls, and there's more of that coming up on the other side of this.
Well sailed, though.
When the sun is sparkling and the ocean is calling you in, there is no better place to be than Victoria's east coast. Here in Geelong is the highlight of that whole region. And there's plenty to do on the water and also on Little Mallup Street. We sent Dan Morris to discover more.
How's it going?
Good, thanks. Welcome to Geelong and the 18th Amendment Farm.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. Do you know how to make cocktails?
Not yet.
Let's get behind the bar and try.
Cheers. So you do a bit of sailing yourself here in Geelong?
I don't know. I'm learning a little bit about it, so yeah, it's a great place for it. Maybe you can take me out. What do you think?
Yeah, you should definitely come down.
I'm super keen, and Geelong's really keen to see you guys out.
If you show us where the good food and drinks are, we'll show you the good sailing.
There's plenty of great places, especially down here, Little Mallup Street in Geelong.
All right.
Make sure you come, and I'm happy to show you around.
All right,
Easy?
cool.
Okay, let's do this. So what are you thinking? What about if we do a drink called the Boardwalk Empire?
Sounds good.
Yeah?
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right. That nice and cold?
It's cold, yeah, it's good.
That means you've done a good job.
Dan Morris, cheers, mate.
Cheers.
No, that is good. And does your skipper, Steve Thomas, know where you are right now?
I told him right as I left the boat park, yeah. But he got a full day's work out of me before I came here with you, so I think he's all right.
3rd position and in the first regatta?
Yeah, it's we'd like to be sitting higher, but yeah, just the first event is kind of like a benchmark to let you know where you stand and where you're starting from. And the Euroflex guys sailed quite well, but we're already making adjustments and starting to make improvements, you know.
And you were saying before you're even spying on them.
Oh, you've got to. You've got to watch the broadcast, watch the footage, and just try to take every opportunity you can to learn. So, you know, whether it's watching on the water, like if you cross a boat, you have a look at their setup or what they're doing, or if it's on the broadcast, or just any chance you get.
And as a professional athlete, obviously you spend heaps of time away from home.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you even have a home these days, or are you just an international man of mystery?
So it's funny you ask, because I've lived for quite a few years just sort of out of my duffel bag. When you talk about home, it's being at a regatta is sort of my home. That's when you're surrounded by all the people that you spend your life with, you know. Like this fleet alone is, you know, a bunch of your best mates.
And when Pavement do grab the first win, whether it's a regatta win or whether it's a race win, and it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
Will you be celebrating with one of these, or will you be celebrating with something a bit less exotic, maybe?
Probably a little bit less exotic, but we'll probably go to the beach or something, you know, get all the boys together and, you know, just everybody together in one place at a beach, bonfire, something like that. That'd be the goal. Thanks a lot.
I'm not paying, you're paying that, right?
Do the Aussie haka.
Dan Morris running up quite a bar tab on Little Mallup Street there. Great time was had by all. We'll certainly be back after the racing, I'm sure about that. Tess Parkinson, race number 7, isn't far away. We've had a bit of swirling conditions. Let's go down to Jack to find out more.
Yeah, Nick, the breeze is pretty steady around that same 13 to 15 knots. It's a little bit left of where it was for the first race. But yeah, fairly steady and actually good breeze at the top of the course. So maybe we'll get some good bearaways for this one.
Hoping so, Jack. It is a southerly and 19 degrees. What's not to love?
All right, everyone alive? Everyone okay? Sorry, Haz. That was brutal.
Bit of crew welfare there from Olivia Price-Tess.
Trav's down.
Yeah, this 17-knot breeze, Nick, is optimum for the boats to reach max speed, so they've got to hold on.
Almost at the start, Tess, it's a case of trying to hold them back. They're purring creatures wanting to just shoot out of the blocks. You've got to maintain that speed so you don't creep over the start line, and sometimes you've really got to look to wipe off that speed.
Go, 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 Trevor.
Looks like everyone's away clean. Oh, except for Tech 2, they're soaking.
Awesome start by Pavement. Really launched out of the blocks there. They got the boat foiling and moving. Really extended in the midpoint of the line. They've won that start for sure. That's a great effort to get off the line there.
Yeah, Tech 2 just set up a little far above the boat end lay line and did a bear away and fell in the water, lost a bit of speed, but they'll have clean air off the line. But this start's all about Pavement.
Awesome work here from Euroflex, really working that high mode on the foils, just pinching Phil out on record point there. He's not left with much of a lane and we might see him tack out really soon here, but Nathan Outteridge on Euroflex trying to control that leeward end of the line, but Pavement's definitely got the better of him here.
High mode now, boys. Big trims in.
Calling to go to high mode. There's pressure coming down the inside, but there's so much going on board these boats. They make it look easy, but you've got to pay attention to get to full speed off that line. All the little controls on the sail, Nick, need to be flattened off as you get the boat foiling.
Olivia Price doing a handy job of that right now, surveying this track around her, working out her next move.
Jab out.
As we hear from Phil Robertson there, he's ready to launch his attack too.
Pressure's gone to the right.
And the pressure's on board Pavement and Tech 2 as well. Things are simmering away nicely there, ready to get to boiling point, Tess. It's hot out there already. Double points doing crazy things.
Yeah, Tech 2 have picked the first shift off the start and made the most of that right pressure, being able to come back and cross in front of the fleet. They had right of way on starboard there.
Yeah, dust on the inside now.
Well, it's testy moments there for Pavement and Tech 2. Clearly both of them looking to lay down an early marker here on Corio Bay.
And once again, we see Euroflex and Pavement locked in this speed race, locked in this drag race. Pavement will try to work a high mode as Nathan just wobbles off the foils there, but cannot give an inch right now.
Jimmy, I get the feeling you need to hold on to your hat right now. This is a hot battle between Pavement and Euroflex.
Pretty early drive, eh? Like, yeah, straight away. Gust on one now.
Yeah, look, Pavement just putting the squeeze on. Nathan just making another little mistake there, and Pavement's just straight through. Sailed straight around to leeward. Now just trying to climb that height, pull up in front of them, and if they want to attack here, they have all the rights in the world. So it looks like they're going to go straight for that right-hand turn, and here we go, big top mark rounding.
Standing by. 2, 1, go board.
Coming up.
Here we go.
Oh, and that one was close as well.
It'll come to you in a second when we park.
Euroflex driving, Tech 2 flying in.
Driving, got the mark.
Tess, it is tight in there right now.
Copy.
Big up.
I've got him.
Nice work.
I've got him.
Whoa, it's like a game of musical chairs. The music stopped and there's about 1 chair and 5 superfoilers looking for a seat right now. Hectic stuff.
That bear away immediate jibe's not an easy manoeuvre in these boats, especially having to do a roundup to avoid Euroflex, but they're away. It looks like the pressure's running down the inside.
Feels like too much, mate. Too much what? Too much rain, eh?
And that is lit. It's igniting right now.
The more runway these boats have, the more speed they can build up. Opting 1 crew on the wire.
Can you see the mark? Copy. Copy. Further here. Waves.
So here they have the option to sail fast if they want and get another man on trapeze, but they're opting to try and get down the course, get away from the land and sail a little slower, a little lower.
Set up. 2, 1.
1, go board.
That high frequency hissing, it's a sound for sore ears, and this is a sight for sore eyes as they touch down on Corio Bay. That'll wipe some serious time off the Tech 2 challenge.
Sometimes that ley line just puts the pressure on and you've got no choice but to go. Onboard pavement, they're setting up for their jibe coming into the bottom gate.
And judging from that reaction, they didn't quite nail it.
3, yep, copy that. 2, 1, taking off.
So much teamwork required as they call these gusts in. They've got to get the crew weight out as the wind builds. Sheet the sails on a little more. Not far away from the bottom gate now. They're on the second downwind. And pavement just flying a little high there. They need to get the boat on top of them, get that windward heel going.
You see pavement here just getting a bit out of sorts. Not enough lift on that leeward foil. They might have crashed off the foils. But Tech 2's taken full advantage of that, put 200 metres on them in the blink of an eye, and you see Euroflex further down the track there, still sending it hard on 3 foils.
Let's hope there's no damage there. Pavement's currently in third, but record points closing in on them at a rate of knots.
To windward, a bit for free.
And nothing's free out there, Tess. That looks to be seriously hard-earned.
1, and he's made.
Yeah, really difficult to put the leeward foil down into the water. It must have slipped up in the jibe there, so Dan Morris would be pretty tired after pulling against the force of the water.
1, jibing.
These guys on Tech 2 are really making those foiling jibes stick as we see Euroflex basically dropping a knee. Casey Stoner as they raise that corner, and, well, Glenn Ashby almost slipped off like a MotoGP rider too.
And this is a great view here of pavement and record point and clean made coming through this middle gate on the downwind.
Through here, bottom up.
Copy.
Oh, it up.
Crash jibe. We've got to go straight away. Foil down.
Great work from Pavement as we see clean made. It says the best you can own. They're the best you can be right now, doing a great job. The clean-made trio of Olivia Price and company as we see Tech 2. It's hard going out there. Sam Newton, a massive workhorse effort, dodging a can and closing in on Euroflex.
Yeah, and Tech 2 not far behind, 40 seconds behind at the bottom mark there, so that's not much of a gap at all. You know, you can see there in the top of the frame going upwind, Pavement trying to work down to that bottom mark, and can't see quite where record point is here. Maybe they've legged out a little bit from the boys on with Phil Robertson there.
Don't write Pavement off. Don't write Tech 2 off. They're coming in hot and looking to close gauge on Euroflex. Riding on board with Tiger Woods, Jordan Spieth and Rory McIlroy, at least the version of those guys in our sport, the best of the best.
1, go board.
The cream of the crop, and it is rising to the top.
1, tackle.
Tech 2 trying to set them up for a separation on this upwind so that they can get some leverage to give something back to Euroflex.
Well, they've been chasing them all day, keeping them honest, nipping at their heels, and maybe, just maybe, this is their chance.
Positive, 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 positive. Hit it, hit it. I'm going around the outside here. Nah, not going to happen. 3, go board.
Phil Robertson with a yogi-like concentration there, staying positive, 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 and closing the gate to Pavement there. A great leg from those guys. Pavement now under pressure.
There we go. And back to our leaders in this race. They've just gone through the middle gate on their way to the top mark for the last time, and they've found a nice groove to get stability out of the boat and a good high mode they're building here.
A little more rudder lift, is it?
A little bit more lift. They think they can go even faster.
Big stuff coming.
Aidan Menzies chirping away there, saying the high road's the good road, and he's been right so far today.
Lean hard, guys. Yep.
They can see pressure out on the right and they're going for it. They're pretty happy to have some separation against Euroflex. It'll be interesting to see when they cross back who's in front.
And what about this battle, Tess? Third and fourth going at it now.
Go forward.
Sam Phillips, main sheet on board record point.
He's a local. He's from Victoria too, Sam Phillips. He'll be really enjoying the clinic they're putting on home waters at the moment.
Record Point tried to initiate that tack, but Pavement's gone straight on top, covering them all the way.
And Euroflex, they're racing on a different course at the moment. It looks like that lead is really blown out from them. Superb stuff from our series front runner. Mind you, Olivia Price, Josh McKnight, Harry Morton still giving chase. And look at the energy and intensity there.
Okay. Stevie's on the line. Here we go, lean hard. Let's go fast for another bit.
Euro's slow at us.
Yeah.
Tech 2 have picked the shift, they're in the pressure.
Stand by. 2, 1, attacking. It's going to be a slow one.
Tech 2 did a good job there. They saw Breeze out on the right-hand side of the track. Euroflex continued out to the left and found a bit of a hole.
And just like that, the gaps come down and we've got a race again. Tech 2 and Euroflex.
Oh, Sam just knocking Aiden out there almost.
Taking off, guys.
Taking new definition to the best seat in their house there. Aiden Menzies, a momentary lounge chair. There's no chance to sit down. The fight's on. And Euroflex have answered the call right now.
Yeah, nice.
On board Record Point here. They're on the upwind leg now. Getting the boat tracking nicely through the water. You can see Sam Phillips with the main sheet in his hand. The bowman's got the traveller there. Dan Morris cranking it on board Pavement. And here's our final approach to the top mark.
3, 2, 1, go board.
A crucial moment in this race, Tess. It all hinges on what happens around this mark. Who's going to get the best of it? Luke Parkinson has been given a sniff earlier today. He's going to want to seize it this time around. It was the one that got away. This is the one he wants to reel in and hang on his wall in the pool room.
Yeah, most of the teams are going for the 3-point foiling, and I think that's because there's enough pressure to get them down the track. So the 4-point foiling comes out if there's a bit of a light spot and they need to get some depth. But I think you'll see most boats using the 3-point foiling.
Wait in, Sam. Sam in.
Tech 2 may dive on the inside.
Can't see, Sam. Wait in hard, big wait in, Aiden. Yeah. 4 boards.
The different pressures on the course are really opening up opportunities.
Happy to go 4 boards here. Wait out, Aiden. You're out, Aiden.
How about that for increasing the pressure, though? Tech 2 and Euroflex just buzzed past each other, gave each other a quick look, and basically said it's on to the finish line. We'll see you there. Who's going to get there first? And will Pavement hold out Record Point in the battle for third?
We're looking for best pressure on exit.
They need to tack in good pressure. They can't afford to slow down here. They've got to get one and in, keep that lead on Record Point. Record Point really getting the boat speed up.
Phil Robertson's a world match racing champion. He's now in a match race with the boys on Pavement.
Lost tack. Yeah.
Pavement calling for attack and then an immediate jibe around this top gate. They've had a bit of trouble with their foils in this race.
1 degree.
Smoke the jib, right?
There's a few cracks in the armour there for Steve Thomas and company, but no chinks in the Euroflex armour. They are absolutely soaring right now. All the racers will want to see what they're doing. They're in a 4-point foil and they're closing in on the finish line.
There's a tack here for sure at the moment, okay? Tack and a jibe, okay? Copy?
Record Point discussing their strategy for the last downwind.
2, 1, go board.
And these are the moments in the race that can seem frustrating for Record Point. They were closing in and the winds vanished just like that.
Okay, going for straight into a jibe here, eh?
If you thought the battle between first and second was going to be tight, the battle for third and fourth could prove even tighter.
Not sure about that move there as you saw Pavement heading for that Geelong Main Street puff once again. It seemed to pop his head up and Steve's seen it and on board with Tech 2 here now. These guys are 4 foils down and going well.
Jibe is going to be a problem.
Tech 2 calling they can't jibe and cross in front of Euroflex, so they've got to keep going here or at least try and soak down to get onto Euroflex's line.
Yep.
They're coming up to us and not
They're in our gas here.
Tech 2 is covering Euroflex.
Copy.
There's not much breeze on the exit there, and they're dropping speed as they're sailing lower to get to their line.
Yep. Stand by, jibe. 3, 2, 1, driving.
Very close to the bottom marks here. Euroflex has got such high speeds though. They're really on a runner here. Looks like they're jibing on late for the left gate coming into the bottom.
Those guys are absolutely smoking it anymore, and they'd have to call a quit program. Rocketing along. Impressive run here from the Euroflex guys. Just when another Superfoiler thinks they've been given a chance, these guys come and slam the door shut.
I think Tech 2 will be looking for a split here, but just so interesting to see the difference between these two modes. And look, blink of an eye, Nathan Outteridge just pulled 140 metres just like that.
Magical work on the tiller there, Jimmy. That's why they call Nathan the Wizard of Wanji, an Olympic gold medalist and a master craftsman on the stick.
Hang on, not yet.
And Tech 2 splitting here. They're rounding the right mark, so they're going to go out, get different pressure to Euroflex.
3, 2, 1. Board up.
Was that a forced move test? Did they need to do something different, or is there something I can't see? Is there a big puff coming?
The separation and the split they've decided to do here does give them something to work with to get back into that chance zone and put the pressure on Euroflex.
Well, you'd back anyone, and if you were going to do it, it'd have to be Luke Parkinson. He's got that thing rocketing along the red flyer, but just as they've sensed the challenge coming, the dream team aboard Euroflex put down the hammer and they rocket on. It's the Geelong breeze, the local knowledge. Glenn Ashby's channeled it all day, and if one man knows his way around Corio Bay, it's definitely Glenn Ashby. He's got his hand right where it needs to be.
You can see the bowman Ian Jensen on board here pulling a lot of ropes. He's got the boards to work with, the Cunningham, the Vang, the main controls for the mainsail, the mast rotator and the Traveller. So much going on.
Bobby, taking off.
He's got the Vang where it needs to be because they are in Fang mode at the moment and flying towards that finish line.
Interesting to see that Tech 2's on port tack already here. That means that they're most likely laying the finish line, hopefully. So haven't written them off yet. They've got a big split on Euroflex. So interesting to see how they come into the shot here, if they've taken up any ground or not.
Well, Jimmy, you didn't want to write them off, but the boys on Euroflex are ready to say sayonara. They've booked another race win. It's an incredible effort from them. As soon as they look challenged, they always answer the call, Tess.
Amazingly, Nick, we've seen Euroflex often, they're not leading at that final top mark and they just manage to get in there and just link the shifts together on the downwind and lead at the bottom. All credit to them, they really turn it on when it's needed.
All credit to them, but all credit to these guys. They missed Adelaide through some serious damage to their boat, but now they're back and in the thick of the contest.
All the way home, boys. Let's go.
Excited to keep the pressure on all the way into the finish line here, and the more time these guys spend in the boat together, the better they're getting.
I would never buy a used car from Luke Parkinson. He drives at one setting and it's in the red zone. They're fast, they're furious, they're making their presence felt.
That was a good one, eh?
Pretty happy with that result, and so they should be. Nick, that's second in 2 races out of today, and they're right at the front pack.
Yeah, look, and the boys are stoked there as they cross the line. They're happy with that second spot. That's a really good moment for them, and, you know, they're going to really just build with that confidence. And, you know, when you get on a roll, you can be really unstoppable.
Those guys are showing shades of being seriously threatening to Euroflex's dominance. They finished second here. It's an impressive effort from them as the racing continues behind Pavement, really doing nicely here in third.
Dust on now. Got clean made here, Steve. Up above, yeah.
A lot of grunt and heft coming from onboard Pavement there. Those guys are going full gas right now.
Calling the pressures in here, you can see they're 3-point foiling, all 3 on the wire. They're really getting this boat up and going, and they look to be stable. Not far off the finish line, Pavement have held into third position in this race. Port Tack, final approach to the line. They've sailed well here, Nick.
They sure have, and Steve Thomas looks like he's pointing it straight to the bar at the Yacht Club there, but he's got one more to go. The celebrations will have to wait for them, and I imagine Steve Thomas, as a Sydney to Hobart winner, has such high standards. He will ask for more from his crew. He'll want to see more physicality from Dan Morris at the front and more from Reece Mara on the main sheet. It's going to be a big ask though, Jimmy, given just how demanding these boats are to steer around the course.
These boats are so physical. It's just like, you know, you got a short interval, and thankfully, you know, if you win the race, you get more time to recover than the next boat. So it is a big factor, but all these guys are super fit athletes, and I'm sure they'll be able to recover just fine for the next race.
Record point coming into the finish line in fourth position here.
Wild little ride, eh?
Loving it on board.
Okay, go board here.
Wherever you are in the race, look, these machines are just such a treat for these guys to sail. They're just so enjoyable and such a challenge.
Phil Robertson's one heck of a sailor, and he's had some good results here in Geelong. I think he'll be looking to go up a gear in the next race. Fourth for him as he closes in on that line is still a good result, but there's more coming, one senses from the Kiwi.
Yeah, there's a lot more to come from this team, Nick. They're all amazing sailors in their own right. This is the first time sailing together in this series, so we'll expect a lot more from them in races to come.
Neil Hunter, such a big unit, going to so much work on the bow there. That power transfer will really pay nicely in races to come, I think. Oh, forget a tea bag, my plunger broke. Look at that one. Heavy touchdown there, just cooling down the boys on the way to the finish there. What a race it's been so far.
Oh, nice work, lads.
Here with Sam Newton in the bow. You've got the toughest job on the boat, I reckon. How are the arms holding up?
Oh, they're all good. Yeah, I mean, it might be a bit more physical, but I think Parker's probably got the tough job. But yeah, that's all good out here.
You can see you guys are improving every manoeuvre. What are you doing right?
Look, we're just chipping away. You know, we've got a long way to go, and but definitely, you know, it's getting better and better as the day goes on. You know, manoeuvres are slowly getting better and better, so we're just going to keep pushing and see if we can have a decent one this last race.
On edge, downwind in some of those puffs?
Yeah, I mean, if you get the puff at the wrong time with the spectator boats, it gets a bit tricky, just sort of weaving your way through, but yeah, I mean, it's all good. It's what we're here for.
Got to have supreme confidence in the two around you?
Yeah, no, I do. We got two good guys here. I know it's not an easy job on the back, so I think he's doing a good job, but yeah.
We'll keep it up, lads. You're not far out of the points now, I reckon, so good luck for the last race.
Cheers, thanks.
Sam Newton, an America's Cup winner on Oracle in San Francisco, and clearly enjoying his time sailing alongside two Aussies. As we see another Aussie, all Aussie crew, I should say, Tess, cross the line. It's Cleanmate picking up fifth.
Yeah, Harry Morton, Josh McKnight and Olivia Price have done a sensational job to get around the course. These boats aren't easy to sail in 18 knots of breeze, and they've safely carried it around and crossed the finish in fifth.
And this is how it played out across our seventh race on the program. Euroflex on top, super quick there, under 17 minutes. Tech 2, Pavement, Record Point and Cleanmate all in the points, nice and close behind. That was the entree, the main course. Our final double points race is next. Superfoiler is at the cutting edge of technology, carbon fibre creatures at the top of their game. So we sent our sailors to the Carbon Nexus plant in Deakin to understand what powers this technology.
Hey guys, welcome to Carbon Nexus. Derek Buckmaster.
Steve.
Steve, how are you?
Reese.
Reese, how you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Come and we'll get you organised with some safety gear here. Yeah, so it's great to have the Superfoiler sailors come and visit Carbon Nexus today. So Deacon's doing a lot of research into figuring out how you make carbon fibre less costly, as well as how to make it stronger. And when you look at the boats and the materials that the Superfoiler boats are using, you're really looking at the cutting edge of sailing performance, and we're trying to figure how you take that performance and those materials more broadly.
Super stoked to come here and learn a bit more about carbon and what's going on in the Superfoiler.
You might have a fiberglass boat, but you might have small pieces of carbon. But we're trying to make it accessible to everything so that you can get your car made out of carbon fibre and not have to pay millions of dollars, or you can get a boat made out of carbon fibre for regular production boats.
Certainly have learned a lot about the process of how the carbon's made and how the boats are therefore made, and what things we can do to make the boats maybe a little stronger and stiffer in the future. It's certainly kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity because there's not many of these facilities around.
The Pavement Boys had a wonderful time at Deacon's Carbon University. In fact, Steve Thomas said he wanted to enrol in the program there in the future. So watch this space. And Jack McCartney's been watching Tech 2 very closely today. Jack, what's the latest?
Yeah, you can see the Tech 2 boat. I'm really impressed with what they've done. They've had the least amount of time in the boat. They had the big prang last weekend. They've got back out on the water. They've really been working hard and they've taken a beating, really. And now they're out here and you can see that they are the form boat of today. And they're finishing strongly, and Parko and the guys are sounding really confident. I think they'll take it right to the Euroflex team.
Pretty happy here on the fleet. We just got Parko to worry about.
And that's a sentiment echoed by Euroflex, our regatta leader. They want to keep a close eye on Tech 2, and Paul Campbell-James is keeping a close eye on the canapes on board our VIP boat. Tickets available, of course, for our Express Superfoiler Grand Final on Sydney Harbour. It really is the best seat in the house. Make sure you head over to the website to grab your tickets today as we ride back on board with Pavement, who've had a mixed day today, Tess.
Yeah, Nick, under a minute to go to the last race of today. You can see the start boat in the picture with the orange on-station flag. All of the boats are racking up to windward in this start, trying to get their timed run into the start.
Pretty happy, aren't we? Just Parkinson.
And that name again, just Parkinson, as he crosses the stern of Euroflex.
Just going to let him do what he does.
Doing what he does, throwing the cat amongst the pigeons today, Tess.
Yeah, Nathan said, okay, let him in there. He's happy he's got enough space.
Big trim.
And they're all the way cleanly there. Euroflex timing her run. Pavement nicely positioned ahead of record point here too. Double points on the line as we see Tech 2 nosing ahead. This is another great battle between Euroflex and Tech 2, Tess.
Yeah, there must be a lot of pressure out on the right. Very bunched at the boat end off the start. And Euroflex have popped their bow out ahead. Pavement there on the inside, though, could be the first to get the new pressure, and Tech 2 in a position to be able to put the bow down and sail a speed mode and really get the boat flying.
This is a great start, Tess. We're seeing them foot to the floor here. The best in the business going nose to nose, looking to pave their way to success with double points on the line here.
You can see on the upwind the difference in the modes these boats are sailing. When they get more pressure, they can sail closer to the wind, and Euroflex is really delicately out of the water, and any bit of pressure, they're shooting that jib in hard, really getting the traveller on and sailing close to the wind to minimise their distance to the top.
2, button, 2, 1, tacking.
And lots of chat on board Tech 2 as well. Euroflex going for 3-point foiling and at the moment edging ahead.
Unsea Pavement, all good.
Super close racing here. There's only 100 metres in it. Lots of changes with the pressure.
Euroflex at the moment with an undefeated record here in Geelong, extending the unblemished run in Adelaide too.
He's tacking anyway.
And closely monitoring all in her wake at this stage. The biggest concern emanating from Tech 2, although Pavement banging down the door as well.
Yeah, he got the nice lay, didn't he?
Tech 2 have got good pressure out on the right. They've managed to get to the ley line first, and it's difficult for the teams to balance working these pressures with getting their tactical positioning right against the other boats in the fleet.
It's a nice little chess match unfolding here. Tech 2 with the early moves there. They've got nearly 50 metres on Euroflex with Pavement in third position.
Right turn, early jibe going up the watch. Okay, I'm going in.
Preparing to round the top gate. Both Tech 2 and Euroflex are calling. They're going to bear away around the right mark at the top here. Nice increase in pressure.
Pressure all the way down here. Yep, I got it too. Here we go. Pressure all the way down here, copy.
Great speed on board these guys. They're rocketing along at the moment. Pavement turns in third.
Right here, guys. In you come then.
Consistency equals boat speed in these gusty conditions. You can see how hard they're trying to work just to have control over the machine.
Copy. Stand by jibe. 2, 1, jibing.
Clear comms coming off Tech 2. Luke Parkinson calling all the manoeuvres through. Excellent foil time here. Look, that is a great shot to see how close they are.
Coming up for you now.
Euroflex has put the pressure on. They've jibed early.
Yep, got to take left out.
And this is a battle of epic proportions right now. Tech 2 and Euroflex parallel on the course. Really close racing at the moment.
Plenty of puff further up there too.
Nathan's calling. There's more wind coming here, boys. Get ready, hold on, get in the foot straps, get back in the boat. We're going to send it on this downwind.
Both machines sending at the moment. 20 plus knots and climbing, doing it easy.
You've got to be so accurate in these boats. You can't let them fly away from you. You've got to keep the weight of the rig on your shoulders to keep it going.
You've got to come and get it.
Oh, and occasionally you can even do a bit of risky business. Tom Cruise style there from Ian Jensen.
Yeah, we just got to punch through to a lot of them.
And Euroflex, they've had to stay on a low angle to get through the middle gate. But now they've got free range. They're going to head up and really try and roll over them. Close in with the VIPs here on board, and Glenn Ashby on main sheet, Nick, giving them a wave here. He's certainly enjoying this ride.
He's loving every minute. He's got family and friends out there on the VIP boat today, and he's putting on an absolute show from them. He's the ultimate showman. I think Glenn Ashby knows every single person in Victoria, the way he's interacting with them in the boat park. It's crazy to see.
Anytime, Goose.
Jibing back towards the bottom gate.
Nice, mate.
This is where they'll consolidate their lead. 4-point foiling, and then on the exit of the jibe, they really want to lift that windward foil and let the boat rip.
And if they were ripping it any harder, Tess, they'd tear that thing straight down the middle. Pavement, they've had a good time in Geelong so far, and Corio Bay, they're ready to play right now.
Yeah, Pavement are 3-point foiling here, so they're really opting to sail high and let that boat speed get right up.
Standing by. Okay, here we go.
Around the bottom mark here. Heaps of pressure on as they turn up through that max power zone. And Tech 2 coming in with a lot of pace as well.
You know what they say, you don't strap yourself with max powers, you strap yourself in and feel the G's.
Good ley lines down there.
Stand by, round up.
Yep, there's your windward. Chasing it.
And this is the battle test. Tech 2 refusing to yield at the moment. They're like a bull. They've got the red rag, the blue rag in this case of Euroflex, and they want to mow it down.
Yeah, interestingly, they're Aiden calling heel the boat to windward before the roundup, so they need that windward heel to have control over the power in the boat. And sending it here on board Pavement, this 3-point foiling, they're reaching such high speeds here.
Well, they've learned a lot about the carbon fibre, and they're putting that structure to the test and putting our unique camera angles to the test as well. Look at that image, one of the best on the circuit.
Yeah, 2 crew out on the wire here, and the windward board up. These boats at their fastest angle they can sail.
And it's a menacing roar at the moment, the wind through the sails. They're really starting to build up here as they crab walk up and down that float. When we return, we're going to find out who comes out on top in this epic battle between 3 superfoilers. Pavement still in the hunt here, closing in on the end of our double points race here in Sunday. It's a supercharged day of racing, and so far there's been plenty to like about the display of foiling from all 5 of the Superfoilers on the water. Just look at the height they're getting here, basically leaping over that checkered marker, Olivia Price and company there.
Yeah, Olivia on a really close lay line on the downwind. She's just cleared the middle gate mark, and Tech 2 and Euroflex are having a tight battle on this upwind leg.
Wait in.
I don't think there's an urgency there on the tacks. Good shot on our inside coming.
No great urgency from Nathan Outeridge there, the Olympic gold medalist, happy to just enjoy his time at the front, maximise their pace, but no need to do anything rash. The pressure is on Tech 2. They had a great second place finish today, and Euroflex have had an undefeated run. So we know who the challenger is, we know who the master is. Can the apprentice get them, Tess?
Yeah, Euroflex will just be looking to minimise manoeuvres here and stay in between Tech 2 and the top mark gate.
Yep. Go for it.
Tacking now onto the top mark lay.
Stand by. You're all right, Aiden. Sorry, mate. Go. 2, 1, tacking.
And you can see Tech 2, they're pushing the boat really hard. They've got no limits, these guys. They just want to give this everything they've got. They're so happy to be back out on the water, and they're proving how well they can sail.
As they just cooled down a little bit there, gee, I love hearing from Aiden Menzies. He's so vocal, stands his ground on the main sheet there and just says it like it is.
It is. Be nice to get a left turn, wouldn't it?
I think there's heaps of rake in that when we're bored.
Hearing a bit from Nathan Outeridge, trying to do his best Yoda, summon the force of the wind where he wants it. Probably not going to happen for now.
2, 1. Well, turn you.
Such intensity on board.
Big gas, 3, 2, 1, drop in.
You can't let the boat fly away from you at all. You've got to maintain control at all times.
As we heard yesterday, Tess, you can't win a boat, but you can lose a boat. Holding on for grim life at the moment, trying to reel in the big fish on the end of the line, the big marlin, the big Euroflex. She's swimming away at the moment. She's not going to be reeled in anytime soon.
Once more to the bottom. I got us 15 away. 3.
Getting very close to the top mark gate here. They're just deciding on their final approach.
Yeah, go Goobs.
And Goobs coming in, pulling that foil down to tack onto the lade around the left mark. And these guys just need to keep racing simple. They're doing well.
Soft, pretty compared to last downwind.
And they've parked up a little bit, which gives a sniff to Tech 2 here. They'll be licking their lips on board the Red Flyer.
2, 1, go board.
Sounds like the breeze has lightened at the top of the course.
Take off here now.
And now the breeze is coming back. Nathan calling that they're going to take off.
Yeah, we're going to start out of the main stuff.
Well, I know that there was a bit of commotion on board Euroflex this morning. Nathan Outeridge actually forgot his wetsuit, arrived at our racetrack here in Geelong without it. But so far, so good for these boys. No real pressure. They won't be sweating through the wetsuit. They'll be enjoying the lead they now have.
Okay, here we go.
Want to have a good run in like that to the top mark so you can foil for the bear away and just build speed and slingshot around.
Here we go.
Going for an early jibe. Transitioning to the 3-point foiling. They want to sail higher. They want to let the boat build speed. They've got a long run on this jibe.
Will they stay close again and go in search of the little Mallop Street puff? A bit of local knowledge from Glenn Ashby at his home regatta, trying to deploy every resource at his fingertips right now.
2, hang on.
We're extended on this one, I think. Look at the one coming in front of us.
Copy. Wait in, Sam.
Hang in.
The Tech 2 have got a great gust around the top.
Coming back in 2, 1, big one there.
Hold on.
I got us about 15 to a jibe. Copy.
Would be a bad angle back though.
Yeah, it will be. I got us 10. Any time here with the mark.
All 3 on Euroflex, piping in here.
Nice scoops.
got a big split between the boats. So when the boats get further apart like this, we need a smaller wind shift to make a bigger difference. So that's what Luke Parkinson's going for. Get in different water, different air, find a passing lane.
And setting up for their first jibe, they've called they're going to do one and in, which means one jibe to carry them back into the middle gate.
Can we get below clean, mate, or not? Above.
Bad jibe.
And Tech 2's just lost speed in that jibe. They've touched down. They're going to have to really ease the sails and come up to a high angle for a speed build here.
Come on, guys. Useless. Righto. Seriously. That's breaking. Righto, here we go.
Wash from a spectator boat out there. It's causing cavitation over their foils and throwing them off guard.
And you can see just how bumpy it is with the sea state as it is at the moment. It's hard going out there. It's like being in an earthquake zone on one of those Superfoilers.
We've got left mark. Yes, 10.
There's such a moment on board when that bow does go down lower to the water. You've just got to hold your breath and hope that it's going to pop back up again so you've got control.
Such precision from these guys on Euroflex. They should be wearing white lab coats and carrying beakers. It's almost scientific how they get around the track.
2, 1, jibing.
Tech 2 going into the jibe, 4-point foiling. They're gliding through. Amazing. They're able to foil the whole way.
Awesome jibe by Tech 2 there. Full foiling jibe. Don't see many of them. That is absolutely textbook there. So you saw Luke Parkinson doing an awesome job on the rudders. Make sure that boat stays nice and level through the water.
Okay, coming up.
And it's Euroflex they're chasing as per the program. The dream team on cloud 9 at the moment, absolutely gunning it forward. They can taste a clean sweep here.
Sorry, too slow there.
And an admission you don't hear very often, Euroflex not happy with the pace there.
And Pavement, forboard foiling on the downwind. They're getting the boat going and coming back up to the top mark. We've got record point rounding the right gate.
Okay, stand by. 3.
Parko's got a good look at them here. Tech 2 eyeballing Euroflex on the other side of the course. Can they catch them? That's the big question. No one has so far. Will Tech 2 be the one? This is the challenger, Tech 2, Luke Parkinson, Aidan Menzies and Sam Newton flying the flag of Tech 2 and doing their best to dismantle our front-runner Euroflex, who at the moment are seeming like they are indestructible, Tess.
That's right, Nick. They've really come through with the goods on the downwind. They've really extended their lead here. And now on the final leg into the finish in the last race of this series, Goobs, they're pushing out on trapeze. They've got great stability. They're really keeping that windward hull an equal distance above the water.
Operating with almost surgical precision, the Euroflex closing in on the clean sweep. They're eyeballing the finish.
And on board Pavement, they're on the downwind leg still. They're coming into the bottom gate. They're trying to stay in this gust as long as they can and get depth down to the bottom. And they're doing a good job of it. 3-point foiling, really using any bit of pressure to soak down.
And they'll be loving this sight, savouring every moment of it. They're steaming their way to the line like the Euroflex mop is. And this is all good from Glenn. It's a clean sweep. Glenn glittering on home waters. It's a Geelong masterclass from them. 3 of the world's best, 24 world championships between them. And this is another moment to savour. They can now add a trophy from Adelaide to one in Geelong.
Congratulating each other. They're pretty happy with a clean sweep throughout this series.
That was a good first downwind, eh? With those boys. Well done, Goobs. You pulled the boards down today. Yeah, I pulled a few of them.
Amazing technical insight there from Euroflex. He pulled a few boards. He pulled a few of them. That is really outstanding insight from Ian Jensen there. Classy guy.
Yeah, look, they're saying they got the 3-point foiling working well on the downwind in that race. It means more work for the bowmen. Every time they jibe, they've got to transition, put the windward foil in the water and get the old leeward foil back up. But Tech 2 here, smoking it into the finish. They've done well this race, Nick.
This has been the story of the regatta for mine. Here in Geelong, they weren't able to make the line in Adelaide, and they've come back fitter and firing, and they've made us realise just how much they were missed with an underlining performance. Maybe it is Tech 2, the boat most likely to knock Euroflex off their considerable pedestal. A great showing from them. They're on the podium right here in Geelong.
Podium every race.
They're just loving sailing these boats, and their goal from here forward is to finish on the podium every race. They want to keep improving. Pavement here still with great speed, and you can see they're just doing a great job of keeping both the windward and leeward hulls even distance above the water. There's so much going on board here. A delicate balance between getting the lift in the foils right. You can see that main foil just punched through the top of the water there.
And for Pavement, they have managed to get themselves on the podium here again. That's 2 in a row for the rainbow livery of Pavement. Steve Thomas will have plenty to chat about in the boat park about how to take the challenge to Euroflex, given they've got the most experience doing that. And Tess, while they cross the line in third here, they will feel like the regatta maybe slipped them by a little, given they had 2 really good chances to knock off Euroflex and take the first win off them for the series.
Yeah, Nick, one of Pavement's strengths, they're doing a great job of calling the breeze and picking the wind shifts and making the most of those pressure lanes. So they should take a lot away from this series. A lot of things they've done well and heaps to work on going into the Gold Coast.
It's surprising to see just how quickly all the Superfoilers have closed the gap in Adelaide. It felt like daylight between Euroflex and everyone else at this regatta. We've seen Tech 2, we've witnessed Pavement, and we've spied Record Point really start to take the challenge to our series front runner. That win is not far away, I'm sure of that. And given they've spent so much time on the Superfoiler already in development, working on it, they've got heavy expectations. They carry the weight of pressure on their shoulders. And speaking of weight, are they one of the lighter boats in the series, do you think, Jimmy?
Yeah, I think Pavement would be one of the lighter teams, and Tech 2 probably one of the heavier teams out there. So there's a few in the middle of that, and a lot of crew changes happening as we get injuries and just things change as the circuit goes on. So it'll be interesting to see in a few regattas time. I'm sure the crew will be dialed in, and at least the teams will know what they're sort of going for, and they can counter that with their sail choices. As we know, they've got the big jib, small jib, and same with the main. So that's where we may see some variation in sail choice, just to combine that with their body weight on the boat.
Yeah, your crew weight does affect your sailing style. The heavier you are, the more you've got to sail high to build your apparent and to get the boat flying. But once you're flying, you've got a chance to reach a higher max speed. And Olivia's probably in the middle of the weight range out there. She's on the downwind. She's still finishing this race, Nick.
What gate do you want, Liv?
Don't mind.
Right hand gate?
This is good pressure over here, right?
Olivia more worried about the pressure than which gate mark she rounds.
A great effort from Cleanmate as they close in on the line. We close in on Jack McCartney, who was with the winner of this regatta. He's with the Euroflex guys.
Goobs, I'll start with you. You're doing everything right. Well done. Give us an overview of today.
Mate, that was hard work. It was really up and down, and yeah, as Glennie would say, a rope pulling festival.
Any tense moments?
Yeah, no, honestly, the first couple of races was really tight, and the last couple, Parko was pushing super hard, so definitely had to have your wits about you.
The battle with Tech 2 was pretty good. You can see those guys are getting better and better every manoeuvre.
Yeah, exactly. They're good at pushing the boat hard, and we had plenty of wind to do it today, so good on them.
Nate, the boat looks so stable downwind. Tell us what you're doing.
I'm just trying to keep the platform just above the water. It's pretty handy having Glennie telling me up, down, you know, little puff here in 3. You know, it'd be a little letdown. You come down 30 degrees and the thing accelerates. So you really got to keep your eyes out of the boat and make sure you know what's about to hit you.
Glennie, home waters, really turned it on today. How are you feeling?
Yeah, mate, it's absolutely epic yachting, you know, to be sailing here in flat water, you know, super tight racing at times, and, you know, heaps going on, you know, trying to join the dots up, pick the shifts, pick the puffs. It was, you know, a lot of conversation going on. At times you almost just say, oh, bugger it, I'll put it in the cleat and you can just steer to it. But unfortunately, you can't sail these boats like that. So poor old Goobs, you know, pulling a lot of strings and Nath doing a lot of button pressing. And I was just sort of standing there doing nothing, really, just sort of having a look around in Geelong. It was good.
I don't think so. I didn't see any sheet hands swinging harder than you, mate.
Oh, you know, my little pins, mate, they get a fair workout, but they've got short levers, so I've got a good leverage arm.
So last question, rolling over up to the Gold Coast next week, what can you expect from the other teams?
Oh, you can see they've already improved massively. You know, Tech 2 had a massive improvement from the Friday racing. I think the racing's just going to keep getting closer and closer. You know, we're really looking forward to it, and I think racing's just going to get better and better.
Oh, well done, guys. So it's a 2 out of 2, and off to the Gold Coast we go. Thank you very much, Geelong. That was just epic, so go for it, Goobs.
For the second week in a row, we see the Euroflex guys soaked in champagne, and the taste of victory is all theirs. We did see Cleanmade cross the line just moments ago, and his record point still sailing for 5th position.
All good, boys. Nice work.
These boats are so extreme, and I think these guys have got to be happy. They've completed all races here. They're gelling together as a team and had a lot of fun on the boat.
A surge in improvement there from record point after Adelaide. It's a strong finish here in Geelong as we take a look at race 8, where Euroflex crossed the line in a spicy 16 minutes ahead of Tech 2 and Pavement, with Cleanmade in 4th. As it stands across the entire Geelong regatta, Euroflex were unbeaten, with Pavement and Tech 2 separated by a mere 1 point in the battle for 2nd and 3rd. Across and looking at the race to the Ben Lexon Trophy, Euroflex with a handy lead, undefeated on 12. Pavement, Tech 2, ID, Record Point and Cleanmade, all within a few points of each other. I can't wait for the Gold Coast. On behalf of Tessa, Jimmy, Jack and myself, we look forward to welcoming you to the GC. Until then, it's bye for now.